If you like the video, please consider supporting James Corp on Patreon. Yeah. Still issues with that. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out... It went to the title, but it wouldn't change from the title to the other thing, which is a bit weird. Let me just check to see if it's all correct.
Other thing.
Nothing's correct. Everything's a lie.
Everything.
Don't trust the government.
Everything.
Santa isn't real.
I've been watching Stream of Blood's YouTube channel.
Anyway, welcome back to Castle Strahd, Week 16, Part 2. The party's having a meal at the thingy house. At Lady, with Lady Fiona.
And I'm not leaving a tip.
Yeah.
I don't think this is...
Yes, really nicely.
I don't think this is a place where you would leave a tip, right?
Yeah.
And also, tips is an American thing rather than other countries.
Just a tip. That's all.
By the way, Nathan,
You still leave tips in England.
No, but it was invented by Americans.
Would it, Nathan? Just I assume you got my pronunciation of this. Would it be Voctor House?
Yeah,
This is what
Voctor.
the place. Is that how it's pronounced? The
The W's a V.
Voctor House.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I
There we
mean-
go.
So,
CH is a K.
so it's definitely not spelled how it is.
It's not Watchter House. Yeah, it's Voctor.
So,
Okay, thank you.
Lady
I just wanted to
Voctor
make sure I had the
House.
right pronunciation.
Ja, hallo. Ich bin Fiona Wachter. Ich bin die Frau des Hauses. Yes, ja.
Oh, and I.
James, you gotta follow that now. You gotta do that accent now, James.
Languages, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I barely know English.
I agree.
Me too.
I said I was just speaking in Infernal.
Aber
That's what he
ich kann
says.
sehr gut Deutsch sprechen.
Oh, he's showing off. Don't mind my date. He's a show off. He's got two
Mustache.
brains and two
Mustache,
personalities.
Mustache, and he speaks German. Oh,
Oh
shit.
shit!
So jumping back to before we went to make, Arius does turn to the imp mirror and does say something in Infernal, which I don't think anyone else here understands. Unless I'm mistaken.
Wouldn't catch Nameless listening to that filthy shit.
Damn, he only speaks Abyssal. Of course he does.
Or common, you know.
Foul
hey.
demon that he is.
I'm a man of my
Foul demon
word.
that he is. Doesn't have an understanding.
Man of the
Infernal.
people.
What a bastard.
So yeah, Arius, so you say that to the imp. It looks at you and just turns invisible.
Oh, brilliant. Now we can't see where it's going.
Can I do an insight check? Just to, did it actually understand? Okay, was there like a spark of recognition
Oh,
of what
look,
I
you
said?
scared it off.
Go on then.
And it's going to get bigger and
Yep.
kill all of us now.
Hold on. Insight.
They don't get bigger.
What's it going to be versus?
Speak for yourself, darling.
I'm not sure the verses. I think this would just be a skill difficulty, so you set the difficulty.
Yeah, you think it understood you.
Okay. Just confirming basically what it is. That it is indeed
Okay.
an imp of some sort.
So yeah, so she just basically, I mean, I'm not going to role play out the entire like meal. She
Why?
does. Because that would be.
I want dessert.
That'd be two fucking sessions of us like
Yes, there
sitting
will.
here pretending
Yeah.
to eat food.
Yeah.
Every single course.
I once spent 5 sessions just around a breakfast and in the Dishonored RPG. It's not worth it.
5 sessions. I'm so glad I backed out of that fucking thing. Right. Anyway, 5 sessions eating. Fuck me. Okay. So what's So she does go. Mr. Garrett, what's wrong with your soup?
It's Sir Garrett, and it's okay. It's not that the soup is bad. It's just it's a bit earthy for me.
Well, it is made with a root vegetable.
Yes, true. Hence the earthy taste.
Is there
Have
mud
no
in it?
fear. I will enjoy I'm enjoying my wine and company. That's more than enough, and I will partake of the second course.
Are you sure? Because I mean, it is a rabbit.
Oh, definitely. I
He
love
loves rabbit.
Yeah, love me some Hasenpfeffer.
She's like,
Yeah,
fair
what he
enough.
said.
Fair enough.
Funny.
Basically, as soon as she's finished, if any of you haven't finished, the servants start coming out and taking the food away. As soon as she
Finished
finishes
10 minutes
her meal.
ago. I downed it.
Arius has been lightly eating at his soup. He's not eaten the whole thing. So
Obviously.
most of it's taken away.
And she asks a few. She says, she says to you, Area. She says, but I do suggest that maybe when you get a chance after you've perhaps been to the Wizards of Wine, that you perhaps have a look in the town square and see the stockades, and have a look at how the population is treated or punished when
I will admit to you, Lady Voctor, I am already dissatisfied with the management of the Burgermeister and his views on how to move. I need not see the punishment when even the law itself sets discomfort. But I shall do so the same. Thank you.
Okay. So they bring the rabbit out. You know, everyone's got a rabbit.
Watership Down theme plays and not minding.
With some root with some like carrots, peas, probably like some form of potato of some
Wellington.
sort.
It will be a Wellington potato. Wellington style potato.
It's wabbit season.
It's wabbit
season. Just tucks into the
wabbit.
His fashion
Be
side.
very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits.
Yeah, it's a Barovian potato.
So none of you have seen Nameless eat, have you?
No.
Oh.
All right. So Nameless is. How do I describe this? How do I describe how he's eating? No, it's not disgusting. It is not right away at first. Do you remember? Do you remember Christoph Waltz in the movie Inglourious Bastards when he's eating that strudel?
Yes.
Okay, now that you see, you couldn't. He wasn't being particularly rude, but just the way his character was devouring this. He was eating it in the most obnoxious way possible, without being obnoxious enough for you to go, "Could you please stop?" It was just this odd, liking and devouring of whatever. That is how Nameless eats. At least that's how he's eating meat, and he's like systematically with his fork and knife, just like sectioning this thing down and just shucking it of all meat and eating it in almost the most obnoxious way possible, without anybody actually having to go, "Hey, could you please stop eating it that way?"
I mean, it's rabbit, so there isn't particularly a lot of meat on it.
Yeah, but he's still like cutting it like it's he's sectioning it into thin slices and.
He's going ham on that rabbit.
Yeah, he's
tearing everything from the bone that there is to be eaten.
Overdoing the shit out of it, being obnoxiously polite, without being obnoxious enough that someone would actually take offense.
Now, do any of you have any? Is anyone asking her anything while you're eating?
No, I was going to ask something. Yeah. Lady Voctor, I assume that your dissatisfaction, well, more publicly stated to us now, is not exactly unshared within the people of the Lucky. Has anyone ever tried to unseat the Burgermeister?
No, because he's born into the position.
There have been no whispers of those who are resentful of that fact over the years. No attempts to pacify his madness.
Well, she says, unfortunately, he has some powerful allies who work for him.
Yeah, I believe we heard of one. The head of the City Watch. No, his dog, as I think I heard him once referenced. What is his name? Isaac.
Star or Isaac. Isaac, yeah.
I think it was Isaac.
Yes. She says yes. He is he's the one that protects the burgomaster from any attempt at reasoning with him.
But then the Iron Fist cannot clamp down on whispers. But I suppose they would not be whispers if they are audibly heard. Yeah, forgive my musings. I apologize. I'm disrupting everyone's dinner.
Right, Ark. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
You're
Are
muted.
you muted?
Yeah, I'm cussing. Give me a second.
This
Can
is
you
because
roll
you ask if
it?
it was
Roll it in the
possible.
dice tower for me as well, please.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
Oh, don't worry.
resolve.
No, that's fine.
Shit.
That's fine.
Of course
Okay,
it's
so
fine.
you fail your Constitution saving throw. You start to choke, and you drop down dead. Right, that's it. Thanks for playing, Jesse. See you later.
The revenge comes to fruition.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
We'll have another person joining to fill Jesse's role soon enough, I imagine.
How many times have you attempted death on Jesse? Fuck's sake.
I somehow think even a nat 20 would have failed.
I make sure I fall into the soup.
That's why you ain't got soup anymore. It's rabbit. That's why I wanted him to roll it in the dice tower, because whatever the result he was going to get would be like, no, you're dead. Anyway, back to the real world. Or
Fake world that we're
fake
playing
real
in.
world.
Yeah, real fake world.
Nameless
life.
perhaps has the vision of choking himself, or obviously someone has that vision of Ark choking himself.
Freckles
I should've
springs
worded
out of
that
the woodwork and smacks Ark on the back.
Yeah.
Is there?
No. As stated earlier, mon ami, my belly feels a bit weak.
That's right.
It says mon ami every time.
Mon ami.
Monsieur.
I apologize, but my belly, it is too upset in this moment. No, I can't do
Yeah,
it.
with
I
the
can't do
pub,
the French.
say.
That just sounds like Arius, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
no.
French
I had
at all.
French at first. I had
My
French and
belly.
then slipped into Arius towards the end. It was terrible.
My
You don't
baby,
like-
my baby belly.
It's got like that's like a Scottish French.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went fat bastard, I think, with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my baby
Get
in my belly.
Good.
You wee little thing.
I look like a baby.
Shall we get-
Sorry.
Looks
Should we
like
get
a
back to the game? Should we get back to the game?
Good.
Welcome to the movie quote episode, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
take craps bigger than you.
I got bigger
God.
chunks of corn.
Baby back, baby back.
Anyway,
That's-
Yeah, so I'll, Nameless will try to talk up Lady Voctor and ask her some questions. Mainly,
Baby.
Lady Voctor, where do you fit, in this town with the town standing and stuff? Like, what is your station? What, other than wonderful host and hostess and
well, she says, well, my late husband was he's the family that he's from an old family of Verlecki. So we have quite high standings in the village.
yeah.
I keep
well,
wanting to say city, but it's not a city.
It is in Barovian sense.
say town. Say town.
The term
Within
city
town.
isn't set to a specific thing. Like, what would be a Danish city might be referred to as an English village, for all we know.
In England, though, you specifically have cities and you also have villages. So
Well,
We also have
no,
market towns as well.
yeah,
in geographical
Jeez,
terms,
we've already
it will
thought too much about it.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
In geographical terms, what we may class as a city, others class as a village, others may class as a city because populations change all over the place.
Uh huh.
Forget about it.
So, Lady Voctor, I
This is all happening in character.
I don't want to presume that that I want to presume that you require something of us, other than just being polite and inviting.
Well, she says I do require something of you, but as I said, we'll get to that once we have finished our meal.
If that ever happens.
All right. Well, that rabbit was delicious. I'm done.
I want dessert.
Offed it, mate.
Yeah, they bring out a treacle tart and custard.
No, you said biscuits.
Golden biscuits.
Biscuits never.
Yes. I was hearing this golden crunch biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this tart about?
Yeah.
That's well, unfortunately, Fox doesn't exist in fucking Barovia. You're getting treacle tart pudding.
Unfortunately, that clash we heard before was the biscuits going to the floor, so now we're getting treacle tarts.
What about Jaffa cakes? I've heard about Jaffa cakes.
They can go fucking die in a fire.
Jaffa.
I've heard those are delicious.
What about?
I've heard they're disgusting, filthy, horrible things that you
What
can
about-
fucking yeah.
What about a banoffee pie?
I hate banoffee pies, so no. We can't have that.
Like treacle tart is what you're given.
Treacle tart. Let's do it.
Yum yum yum.
Is the custard hot? I hope so.
Yeah. Why would it not be hot?
Good boy, James.
Ah,
What sort of monster do you have to be to have cold custard?
Yeah, Daddy. Good job.
Thanks, Daddy James, for the hot custard.
Thanks, Daddy.
Thanks, Daddy.
Welcome to the innuendo episode.
This is the innuendo portion of the episode.
where thirst rules.
Well, for the next 5 minutes.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
He can't
Yeah,
help
not
me.
even Jesus
Nah,
can save us.
We
Me and
motherfuckers
Jesus,
need to
me
get
and
laid.
Jesus have an agreement.
Anyway,
And
I
Dominic,
think-
it's better to shut the fuck up, let him speak.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. James?
We're done with the rabbit and the banoffee pie.
Sure, I'm just gonna
We're not having banoffee.
so after the meal, you all retire back to the pantry, the parlour. Sorry,
What?
Pantry.
The living room.
I'm not carrying my dishes in the back.
No, we all have to wash up after each other
Yep.
and put them away. Otherwise, it's straight to
Hands
bed.
that do dishes are as soft as you can. Oh, green. Sorry.
That's the
Anyway,
servants in the back are singing.
yeah.
was-
No, they're singing. I've got no dirt. I don't know the words.
Don't hurt.
It's a hard knock life.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
fine.
any of these things. Am I too young?
Hard knock.
Yeah, I think you're too young, Emily. You have to
It's a
be
hard
a
knock.
certain
You're
age.
too young.
No,
and
I
you
know
don't
Annie.
musical
Are we
theatre.
singing Annie?
This is sweet.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what they're singing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is sweet.
Yep.
Massively off key, but yes.
It's a
I
hard
used to be obsessed with Annie
Did you?
because I was convinced I was an orphan.
Fuck's sake.
All right, well,
Are we talking
Anyway.
Eve or Emily here?
onto a lighter subject, Curse of Strahd.
Why is
So,
there
as we sit-
fucking?
As
you
we
hear
sit
that?
in the parlour.
That's
Yeah, it
cool.
sounds like a motorbike.
Yeah.
It's not.
Fine.
They just fuck off.
Is somebody ripping ass? Is that what
I think
I'm
it's
Oh,
hearing?
from
no,
Sam's
it's a car.
camera.
No, it's me.
No,
Oh,
Hey,
is
it's
it?
No ripping
I
ass?
can hear it behind
Yes.
me. I can hear it.
Oh,
Unless it's it might be the guy with the penis extension.
the penis extension.
I'm not
The
even going
fuck?
to ask. I'm not gonna ask how you know that.
Because that's the car. You know, that's what Essex boys
Yeah.
get for their
Oh.
penis
I didn't
extensions.
I didn't ask.
If they're lacking elsewhere, they get a flagship
Essex
car.
boys.
Come on, Emily, you should have known this.
What?
The only
Penis
way is Essex.
extensions?
Yes.
No, I know
Okay,
they all
As we
like,
sit,
drive racer cars and have 16-year-old girlfriends
exactly. That's what.
or
makes sense.
younger.
Anyway, before lighter topic of Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, death and murder is a lighter topic.
So yeah, so when she, so obviously when you retire to the parlour, and some cigars, she fed, you know, one of the servants brings her a box of cigars, and she passes around the box of cigars for everyone to take a cigar if they want.
Oh hell yeah!
Holy shit, she's
Oh,
a
yeah.
hoss.
I waved one off. I just passed the box to him.
politely
That's
decline.
What the fuck is wrong? She's like, is there something wrong with you, Mr. Arius?
Not at all. I just do not wish to partake of certain vices. That is
What
nothing
vices
else.
do you partake in then?
As little as I can, and I would not reveal them to polite company.
Large word.
Murder, thievery,
Some rope.
Also,
Sex,
I,
drug, and rock and roll.
the
also, I
occasional
don't think
slander.
smoking is a vice right now, right?
Vi-
In our eyes, it is a vice. Put it up.
Alright.
I don't know if we
Well,
can
she has
vice
a
in the right
fucking
way.
cigar. Anyone else has a cigar?
Hell yeah.
Vice.
Right here. Yep.
Naroon?
Forgive me, Lady Voctor. I do not like the idea of putting smoke into my lungs.
So
Just
much
secondhand.
Well, she
So
says,
much
she says, well, that is where you go wrong. You do not take cigar smoke into your lungs.
Yeah.
You do not
Roll
swing
it to
inhale
mouth.
the cigar.
Dear
and
man, you
simply
get it in the
exhale.
lining through your mouth. But don't worry, we're gonna hotbox the shit out of you.
Yeah, damn straight we are.
Yep,
Never
you're gonna have,
understand.
you're gonna have all the negatives, but none of the positives.
Everyone puts the scarf back over his mouth.
It's not gonna stop it. You're just gonna end up with like nicotine stains around the mouth bit.
It's just like me and Nameless in like full tuxedos, smoking cigars,
Mhm.
looking baller as shit. Yeah.
Before the dinner, the delectable dinner, Lady Voctor, you made mention of the wine, and I believe you are going to make mention of why it is you called us to attend this dinner in the first place. If now is the time
She says,
to go into business.
so she says, yes, the reason why I invited you here is, yes, I do want something from you.
Ooh.
She says, I am willing to supply your journey with some supplies if need be. But I would like you to go to the vineyard, the Wizards of Wine Vineyard, and find out where the wine has gone.
I think we would be able to do that since we are already enlisted to head that way. It would be no trouble to not just collect the shipment, but inquire as to the lack.
Would my lady be in the have the ability or possess the resources to furnish us with horses?
I can't. She says it may be a struggle for me to find the horses, but I can definitely supply you with 2 horses and a cart.
Ooh, that's good.
I have
That's
already
good.
procured.
Carriage is good.
I have procured 1 horse, so there would be another for anyone to travel on if need be, if you cannot all fit within the cart.
Throw you in the back of the wagon and cover you.
Yeah, that should suffice.
Right.
What else are you offering?
Oh, obviously I will pay for your trouble.
Oh,
What
I'm
would
up for that.
What does that amount entail, if you don't mind me questioning? How much would we be paid for this job?
She says 100 gold each. Would that be sufficient?
sure.
Considering the horses and carts, yes. 100 gold would be more than acceptable. Thank you.
Those terms are acceptable.
Those terms are very acceptable. Thank you.
She says that she does finish with like, but if anyone asks, asks you, I'd like you to, verbally thank myself and my late husband for supplying you with the
Transportation.
funds. Yes, or the needs to the needs to successfully complete the task of bringing wine back
Good.
to Valeki.
So you
And
need
to
little
soothe.
you need a little publicity.
Yes.
The turning of the wine would soothe
Okay.
the discontent of the civilians And it's via those whispers I spoke of, I believe.
Who owns the vineyard?
Yeah, that's a good question.
A really good question. Why have we not asked?
Burgermeister.
Well, I'm just
I
asking.
doubt it because it's way out of the...
The Matikov family.
Do they live on the vineyard or do they live outside of it?
They live on the vineyard.
And just to clarify, it's a magical vineyard, is what it's called.
It's just
The
called
Wizard of
the
Wines.
Wizards of Wines.
Okay, but the question is, so let's pretend that we go there and everyone is dead. Who gets the vineyard then?
What?
That is not for us to debate.
Well, I'm asking the lady who would know.
Well, she says if everyone is dead, then the Matikov of the Blue Water Inn will get the vineyard.
Do we like him?
Yes, we
Yes.
do. He's the one that sent us to the. He's the one that sent out of character. He's the one that sent us to go fetch a barrel of the wine, or as many barrels as we could have.
Yeah.
And again, out of character, they're the ones that often does aid against Strahd. So yes, we like them at Cliffs.
Yes. They're good people.
Why do you ask this, Mr. Ark?
Because I expect nothing but misery and despair from this place. That's why.
He's a little coarse, but he's not wrong in his assessment. If
started to get to you.
there's no if there's no contact coming from the vineyard, it is more than likely everyone there is gone missing or has been disposed of or have been run off. I suppose we could hold out that they're in trouble and need assistance, but I wouldn't get our hopes up.
So do you have people, contacts, informants?
Why would I tell you this?
Well, no, I'm asking because there's a place, a windmill, that we left a while back, and we found children's teeth near it. And before we go back near there, I just wanted to know if you could find out anything about it.
Oh, certainly. I will get my agents on it as soon as possible.
Are there any children at the vineyard?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't often leave the walls of Valeki.
Wise move.
Imagine that the Burgermeister does not allow many to leave the walls of Vereki.
Well, she says it's not that. It's where do you go? You can either go to village of Barovia, or you could go to that other one that I can't fucking remember.
Krezek.
Yeah, I mean, or you could go up to the Castle Ravenloft.
No.
There's not many options, right?
Yeah, it is fair. I was not calibrating my thinking to Barovia.
How many
Yes.
barrels are we bringing back for you?
Just one.
None.
Just one barrel.
Okay.
One barrel for.
So that means one barrel for her, and how many barrels for the...
As many as we can.
Another
All the rest.
But
one
we
barrel
also
for
verbally-
her.
What if it's a warehouse full? We're not going to bring them all.
As many as
much
this
as
cart,
much as
as
we
many as
could-
this cart will hold.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I think
good idea.
didn't the Blue Water Inn give us another cart as well?
No.
No, they were trying to arrange one.
Okay.
They
So,
gave us a
well,
map,
well, we're gonna have
and we're
two.
arranging a card.
Have two carts.
So we might have two cards by the
We're
time
gonna
we
bring
get
the
there.
party to them.
Okay.
Yes, I do believe, Lady Voctor, that we would be able to undertake this task that you have asked of us. And I imagine helping spread some goodwill among the people.
The people of Anaki could use every bit of morale boosting that can be offered.
Yes. As she says, obviously once you get back, maybe we can have another meal and catch up and see how things are going.
Yeah, that'd be
Right.
nice.
Sure.
That would be lovely. I admit, perhaps not now, but I would be interested to perhaps learn how you met one of infernal blood like myself. The one more directly tied to the hells than I am. There are not many of this particular brimstone that I've met.
Just like, well, that will be a story for another time.
Exactly. And hopefully in completing this task, you will be willing to show me. Although understandable if not, of course. Is there anything else that you wish to ask of this Lady Voctor?
No? When do you plan on going so I can make the arrangements?
We'll
Tomorrow
come.
in the morning.
Yeah, we'll come pick the card up first thing tomorrow morning. If that's.
She
okay.
said it. She said I will need time to arrange the cart and the horses.
When do you think you'll have it ready?
Late morning.
Okay, perfect.
It is acceptable. Acceptable to us, yes.
She says. She said, unfortunately, when it gets dark in Valeki, or in Barovia as a whole, places will close up.
Perfectly acceptable.
Speaking of, I do believe it might be edging to darkness now. Unless there's any other questions we have that might behoove us to head to our rooms.
That's Tilly. I wish to retire as well.
As we're leaving,
Lady Eve.
when we
Sorry.
leave, I want to make sure I hand a note to the lady, the Miss Fiona, and it's basically an inquiry about my master Mordenkainen, just to see if she might know anything. But he's not. He doesn't want any of the other people to.
I'm staying at the
What?
Blue Water.
Know about it? Even though you've been banging on about it for days.
Yeah, but
Staying at the Blue Water Inn, room 2.
yeah.
My door's open.
Kissy kissy, wink wink.
I'll leave a suck on the door handle if I'm busy.
What?
a few
Yeah.
long time.
No, leave the door open. That's kinky.
Ah, fucking hell.
I assume as we're being escorted out, are there any other sounds of any other occupants of the house? They're on the servants, but does it sound like it might be family in the upstairs, or like as we're being, I assume, escorted out?
I mean,
Just to
unfortunately, because of the amount of background noise there is, because of servants and so on and so forth,
yeah.
you're not gonna be able to pick out if there's other people living in the house.
I assume it's such a. I just thought
Does,
that.
sorry. Does Lady Voctor? Just a question from character to GM. Does Lady Voctor have a soul?
Yes, she isn't soulless.
So he can tell this?
Anyone
Well,
would be
I
able to
just,
tell the
I
soul
mean, I'm a demon. I can kind of suss
Yeah.
that shit out.
I think
Remember,
there's also
I said like
soulless
2
very
sessions
obvious.
ago, I can see your soul at the edges of your eyes.
Yeah, also, as Sam points out, you can tell when someone is soulless because they have a specific way of acting.
Yeah, someone who's got a soul generally appears more lifelike and more like full of life, whereas soulless is generally
A World of Warcraft NPC.
a World of Warcraft NPC, yeah. Or Jesse when he gets too stoned.
Right. Okay.
Job's done.
Job's done. What is it?
Yes, I assume there'll be no. If there's no more business, I assume we're escorted out to head back to the Blue Water.
Best NPC in.
Okay, and I assume with that, you all head to bed.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, we're gonna
Long
head out.
rest
We're
it
gonna
is.
head. Are we walking back, or are we gonna get a fancy carriage ride that Arius has to sit on top of again?
Carriage ride. Carriage ride.
The carriage will be there to take you
Hell yeah.
5 seconds up the fucking road.
Yeah, but we're drunk by now. We've had a
Yeah,
lot of wine.
And we get out of the carriage of the blue water.
It's been a long fucking day as well, I might add.
long day.
It's been like 4 sessions or some shit of this one day.
Darun was nursing the same drink throughout the night.
Same with Arius actually. And as we enter the blue water, and Arius will grab Nebula. And God, this is gonna cause so many comments, but I do fancy a quick drink before we have nightcaps. No comments from the peanut gallery, please. It's obvious, by the way, Arius doesn't drink.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he says, could you care for a quick drink?
Oh no, I'll pass. I can feel. I can feel Goody Two Shoes pushing back.
And as for Ark and Eve, I think you're drunk enough for the night.
I'm trying to get up the stairs.
Yeah.
I will assist you, my lady.
Thank you. Oh my god. What a gentleman.
Yeah,
Just like waving my sword around.
Arius
Put
will,
your sword away. Not here.
if Navin permits, Arius will grab a table for the both of them to sit at for.
Let's all tuck in Freckle and kiss him goodnight.
Yeah, he's
not very well.
He spends his time in a cold sweat under the sheets or running to the bathroom barefoot.
Poor Freckle, poor gnome.
Or like a porno. Is that
He
what
had
you
some
said?
bad.
Poor gnome.
Oh no!
Oh,
Okay.
poor
He
gnome.
had some
Okay.
bad coffee.
no,
and
you-
all
money me, my belly.
That's
But yes, okay.
Get some-
As
Get a
as the
4
other
cup
three
of
go
coffee
to-
at Undergrounds.
as the other three go to tuck in Freckle, Arius will drag Nehruin off to a table in the corner of the blue water room.
Mm,
I wonder if I might speak to you just for a moment, Nehruin.
Can I just stop you? Sam, can you turn yourself up at all?
yeah, you are very. You
Oh, am I?
sound like you're underwater.
Oh, why is that then?
Take the
muffled.
filter away from your microphone.
Yeah, get rid of the
Yeah.
pop filter.
Maybe
Because you
just
sound
move it a little
muffled.
away.
Sound like you're
Yeah.
talking through a sock.
Yeah.
No,
Let's do that.
just
Is that
talk.
better? Is that any better?
That's perfect.
100 times better.
Yeah.
Okay. I've also messed some of the settings and voice meters, that might have done it. I'll just leave the pop filter off though, since I'm not speaking directly into it anyway.
Yeah.
So hopefully it should be fine. But yes,
Oh.
look at it. You guys say something? Becky?
James, before I go to bed, spending 100 gold copying Dark Vision into my spellbook. And I'm off for the night.
I thought it's 50 gold.
It's 50 gold per level.
So
Dark
second
Vision
level will be
is
100
second
gold.
level, so it's 100 gold.
No, you're too drunk to copy.
Jesus Christ.
Fine.
I'm a rules lawyer.
Fine. Ah,
But yes, grab Nehruin. The
Besides,
table.
you can and cannot do stuff because you're too drunk.
okay.
Well, based on your constitution saving throw, you're definitely drunk.
Oh my god.
Hey, bring it into play. Bring it into play.
My best college papers were written drunk.
I bet they were.
Write drunk, edit sober. That's what I do.
Okay, yeah, all right, Jesse, I'll let you do that.
Alright, I just wanted to get it out of the way because that's the last spell in the spell book. Now I can sell it.
Are you sharing a room with me, or is it? It's Freckle, I think's with me, right?
Yeah, Freckles with you, so you're going to be
Okay.
spending the night listening to little French gnome feet.
Oh, money me, my belly.
Little French tummy ache noises.
Right, so what's this romantic dinner to the side that Arius
Ask them-
and Nehruin
ask them
having?
if you-
Legro.
That's
You
what it
asked from
comes
the
to-
peanut gallery, you didn't ask from the conductor.
That's a fair point. Anyway, I was wondering if I could have just a moment of your time, Nehruin, before we turn in.
What would we do if he said no?
Then shrug and go to bed.
No, okay.
Aaron will see that the rest of the group has made their own go. Perhaps a drink would not be a nightcap. I believe it is called. Would not go unwelcome.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, I believe that is what it's called, yes.
Garrett, Freckles is like, oh, how comes they always stuck into each other by themselves?
No, when you box, everyone.
I do not speak gnome, so here we go. This is my
Anyway.
first shot. They
Anyway.
talk to each other because they like each other. They're friends.
Anyway, I just wish to speak to you, Nathan, as I believe you might be more understanding of what I have to say, considering what I assume would be the political climate and the backstabbing of the matriarchy, which you're so familiar with.
You are not wrong there, certainly.
But I have heard some stories of the Underdark and the Drow that have escaped to Waterdeep, so I am somewhat familiar. But yes, correct me if I was wrong, but to you also, does it seem like the Lady Voctor is looking to generate those whispers that the Iron Fist could not kill? Bring hope to those that have been hopeless due to the Burgermeister.
She has said, if she were a drow, she would be an invincible matriarch. I suspect she would actually survive until North came to spin her into a drouder.
Quite. You see, in Waterdeep, it is quite fascinating, the aspects of running a criminal empire. You have the City Watch, but also the Gauntlet to take care of those of Tyr's ilk seek to impose their justice, and so you must work in the shadows. And I was hoping I was not reading into her actions too heavily from my own dealings.
It is clear that she has strong ambitions. She is. I would not say that she works against the people of Aleki, but she may see them as pawns, if you will. And
They are simply as points to use to her own aspirations, yes. I think on that we agree. I think the Burgermeister is her target, and seeding goodwill among the people always get whispers going. And when you have an iron fist to tackle, you strike at the ligaments in the joints rather than at the strength itself, so to say.
There is a high elf that we are familiar with in the Drow community, who wrote that the people should not, the way to rule is not through. It has been a while since I have read his work. The people are what make a city, and they are what make your power.
Perhaps I've read the same writings. That is familiar indeed. But I wish to mainly get your thoughts on her stance with the devil. In your eyes, Nairun, where does she lie with him?
When I initially heard of her distaste towards the treatment of the devil by the Burgermeister and her free use of the devil's name and so on, I thought perhaps that merely she felt comfortable in her own defenses. But as the dinner went on, I began to suspect that she is hoping to, at the very least, appear. The same high elf mentions that if you see a war going on, it is better to side with the victor than it is to stay neutral. I suspect that she believes the devil will be the victor against the Burgermeister of Valaki.
Your insight is valuable. Thank you. That gives me food for thought indeed. Well, I digress. I do not wish to keep you from your rest for overlong, after all. And unlike you, I cannot get by on 4 hours, so I will take my departure now, unfortunately.
Good evening to you, Arias. I shall be up in a moment.
And thank you for the conversation, lady. I appreciate it.
It is always a pleasure.
One final point for you to think over before I leave. She has contracts with one of Infernal and Brimstone. Trust me when I say this, dealings with such blood does not come without oath, without promise, and without trickery. I modeled my life after that, after all. Good night. And Arius will stand up and give a short bow before disappearing into his own room.
Okay. All right. Right, we're gonna go for our second break, but first, Cameron, there's a fax coming through. So you better get it before it runs out. Yeah. Quick, quick, it's coming. Right.
That's been a long joke in the making.
Wow, James.
That joke's been coming for a
That was
long
great. Wow.
Yeah.
Right, we'll be back in a minute. Don't touch that dial.
See you soon.
Don't
Remember,
change that fact.
support us on Patreon, and we might be able to get Cameron Alpha for the fax machine.